It's like ooh la la, ooh la la. It's not hard to say how I feel. It's like ooh la la, ooh la la. It's kinda easy now 'cause it's real. Hey. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Well, hi everybody. How are you? You guys, look at what Bob got me for Christmas. And on air. It shouldn't be back here. Isn't it cute? He wants me to put it over the door and remember to turn it on when I'm on air so that he doesn't burst in all the time. I think that's so funny. It's so cute. I love it. Good evening. And oh my gosh. What? Okay, that's like wild hair sticking up back there. I can see it. Oh well. Curly hair, what the heck. It is good to be here. Good to see all of you tonight. Welcome to story time. Yeah. Gosh, I miss doing this so much. I'm gonna have to really I got a couple things in my head. I'm thinking almost that might rather than spread it out like on a Tuesday or Wednesday and Sunday, maybe do 2 or 3 nights right in a row. I don't know. What do you guys think? Feel like that? I don't know. Anyway, yes, let's greet in with people because I see people here. Linda's here. Yay. And Julia's here. Gosh, Julia, it's good to have you back. I hope you are doing well. Our hearts have been with you. Girl, we've missed you. But know that you have been on our minds, and we've been thinking about you. Grief is the hardest journey of all. Yes, it is. Definite, wild weather, 7 last week. Tomorrow's supposed to be 55. Yeah, we had that in Seattle. We had, before Christmas, we had an ice storm one night and it shut all of Seattle down. Everything. I mean, Metro buses, which is the Metro, King County Metro, the bus services, serves King County, part of Pierce County, and part of Snohomish County and everything. Couldn't get out of the bus barns. It was that. And, Seattle is built on 7 hills. And so it's not, people think, oh, Seattle, near the water, Yeah, no, hilly, lots of hills. Lots of hills. Was really glad when I had a car that was a stick shift that had one of those lock when I had to be on a hill and it didn't roll backwards. Yeah. Not so good. But then the very next day, it was 50 degrees and melted. Oh, there's Gail. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Gail. All right, you guys, send out healing energy. Yeah, to Gail. Hearts wrapping up for Julia. Everybody else who's feeling it. I'm here. She's here. Honestly, I've missed y'all so much. Been lurking a few times. Just didn't feel up to talking yet. Yay. That's perfectly... That's why we're here. That's why we're here, to give everybody a space where they can do what they need to do. Yeah. Tamara's here. Nice, Tamara. Yay. And there is Larry. Larry's back. And there's Gail. Larry, he's checking in with everybody. Why are my eyes going fuzzy? Probably because my glasses aren't real clean. I thought I cleaned them. Tamara's. Yay. Everybody. So it has been an interesting few days. Circle of hugs and loves and protection. I love that. Yes. Circle of hugs and love and protection. Thank you. That's what we need to do. And Angie's here. Our own Angel. Yes, Angel, yes, is here. Thank you. And Lupe's here. Oh, Lupe, I watched you finish off that sunflower today. Oh my gosh. That thing's huge and it's beautiful. That was so wonderful to see a sunflower in the middle of winter. I loved it. I loved it. Good job. There and Año Nuevo. And checking in, everybody saying hi to each other. Happy New Year's. Yes, it's getting there. Okay. So I have something to share with you, to show you. Oh, come on. Back up. Come on. Face ID. Oh gosh. I have it all set up ready to go here. Okay. So Bob and I went to the coast of Washington to Claylock on Christmas Day. We left early in the morning and got there, and it is a part of the national park. It's a national park campground. Lots and lots of campsites. Loop A, B, C, D, E, and F. Well, loops D, E, and F were all closed for various reasons. It's part of it is much more exposed. Part of loop A was closed, so we did get a spot on B, which was very nice, and you could walk right down to where the beach was, and the walkway down walkway down to the beach. But we had some high winds and we had some high tides. We had such a high tide and yesterday here in our area, a king tide that was in Purdy area, not too far from me, was 18. So the barometric pressure caused it to not do what they thought it was. So the tide was able to come up higher, and it flooded the whole parking lot in this bridgeway little market area. So that was all closed down. So the Purdy Bridge had to close down, all kinds of things. So we've had some really high tide. I did a short this morning, you might have seen on YouTube, of the boat launch in our little community, completely blocked. There is 100-foot log laying that has gone over our breakwater and is sitting across the boat launch, plus a whole bunch of other things, because there was a 16+ foot tide here this morning. So it's been a little bit thing. So we were out there at the Pacific Ocean, storming, not too windy, probably about 25, 35, 40 mile an hour at the most. But I wanted to show you, because I did something. Come on. Oh gosh, it's going to keep going if I don't show you right away. There we go. Okay. So let's go to the next scene and pop this out and hit play. Oh, take that off so you guys can listen. Hopefully it's not too loud. But this is me coming first. Hi, it's Gretchen. I am coming to you from Claylock Campground on the coast. Because you can't hear that. Let me check here. Could you hear that? Probably not, because I bet I have this turned way down. And I'm having to yell. Still. Okay. Let me see if I can get the sound so you guys can hear that sound. And audio. Let's take it from this. Let's see if it'll play there. Try that. And play. Because, back there, the Pacific Ocean is going crazy. It is so cool. Okay. I did it this morning and it played. I don't know why I can't do it now. Input. Let me get my sound input. Here, let's try this. Okay. Here, that's what we'll do. Here, we'll try this again. See if it works now. Hi, it's Gretchen. I am coming to you
so what I'm
from
doing is telling you that, hey, there I
Campground
am.
on
Look
the
at this,
coast
I'm at the beach,
of Washington, and I'm having to yell. I forgot to put on a microphone because, well, back there, the Pacific Ocean is going crazy. It is so cool. And input. Okay, so then this is what's next. So watch that log there on the left. Oh yeah, they should be good.
That
Watch
log on
this.
the left there is 65 feet long
Wow!
and
look at
5
it.
feet
It's
high
hitting
at my shoulder.
Whoa!
I went down there and it got tossed around like twigs.
Yeah, that's
And
just
sand.
right below where I'm sitting. Oh, those logs just got knocked around like they're
So that was
twigs.
it just after my tide. So cool. So we had a wonderful time and went on to different places to go see.
Look at that, guys. Look at that roll all the way down there.
We should go camping in the middle of winter. I love, Larry, I love to go camping in the middle of winter. I am a crazy person. He thinks, what? Yes, see, I love winter camping. Our trailer, we purposely bought a 4-season camper. So I have camped in Yellowstone at the last week that they have the campground open and have woken up to 6 inches of snow and 14 degrees weather and been just toasty warm. I love it. I love to go camping. So let's see if I can go back to this next one and show you. This is the wave crashing there.
But we're
And
gonna
then
head out.
I went down
just
the
a bit.
next morning down on the beach.
This is my happy place, guys.
And I'm telling everybody that
So,
this is my happy place.
This
And
is
so
one of my
that was
absolute
where the
happy
waves were all
places.
crashing.
You notice
And the
it
tide was
is-
out in the morning there. And
Nobody down
back
here.
there, right up there above those logs is where I
It's
was
cold.
standing. And this is Clay Lock.
But not too cold.
Amazing place.
All this beautiful
But
foam
turn it out to
and
beach
the
three.
waves crashing.
And that's where things
And
took
then
a
Bob
while
came
to
over
run.
here.
See that white?
His brand new
foam
camera.
right there.
And
we're standing next to an
Boom!
outflow
It fell
river
off the
coming down a
tripod,
ravine.
and it went into that.
And a wave had just
foam.
come over it.
He
See
just
that
grabbed it
where
and
I
he's
pointed
heading
that
back
foam?
up. This is
Well,
where it's wonderful being
that's
part of
where
Canada
Bob's
Services
brand
because
new
we will
camera
just
went
and
into
Canon. I've done this before,
the river.
and it's been okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
not so
fun. All right.
he had just set up over there. It's his first time out with his brand new camera, Canon R6 Mark II. Got him for Christmas and his birthday, and he'd set it up on the tripod, and then this sneaker wave came through, kind of over a thing and through that river, surprised us. But it kind of washed away part of the sand underneath it, and he didn't quite have the camera. He switched it from portrait to landscape or something like that on his thing, and he didn't quite tighten it down. He's learning new, and it toppled off of his tripod right into the water. So within a nanosecond, he was in the water there, getting it out, and that ended our whole photo shoot. I said, just go, and he headed back up. We were at Beach 3, which is it's about maybe a third of a mile, maybe not between, maybe a third of a mile back up to the back up to the truck that was parked on Highway 101, but it's steep. There's about 5 switchbacks and so several stairs. So he went dashing back up there, and I had Aldo, and I made a little video about where he'd fallen and what had happened, and then packed up all my stuff and trudged our way back up. And it really turned out to be one of those things, because in that morning we had been thinking, are we staying another night? Because we had experienced fairly heavy rain throughout the night. In fact, very heavy rain. show you. Oh, I wonder if it'll show. Nope, that's not. A bit. As I turn the camera around, you'll see that on this one you can see that's the road out to there. That's where our trailer is right there. The road was closed.
Our trailer over there.
But and there's still some branches on the roof because we actually had branches falling off and hitting us during the night, kind of waking us up. And there was some thunder and lightning, and there were branches down all over the place. And then, but look at here when I come over, I'm going to show right beside the road.
This is what I wanted to show you.
That's the water that had come in
amount of water
overnight
last night. That's right next to the road.
from the rain.
It goes
Now
out
I know
there.
I'm in the rainforest. Okay,
This
it's not
is
like I didn't expect there to be rain. I'm in the rainforest. All right, I knew that there was going to be rain, but
this is in the summertime. This is all
What-
trails.
what happened
in
was we'd
through
had a
here.
discussion on whether or not we were staying because that was
But right
Christmas
now,
night. We had a lot of rain, and that was
it's a
fine.
little
And then we went out
overrun
the
the
next
water. This is-
day. And but
But
before
this
we
is a
went out,
rainforest
Bob
for
had
you.
been able
This
to get
is
some
what a rainforest
alerts from the
does.
weather service. And the night of the 26th, it was expected to get winds up to 65-mile-an-hour gusts and rain of between a half an inch and an inch every hour. Every hour. Now, I'm in the rainforest. I know that. I'm actually between two. I'm between the Hoh rainforest and the Queets rainforest. That was manageable. We started to talk about what it was going to be like on Tuesday to drive home. If we drove home on Tuesday, what was the weather supposed to be about? If we had 65-mile-an-hour gusts overnight, what was it going to be on Tuesday? Well, then he got the information in that during the day on Tuesday, we were supposed to have between 50 and 65-mile-an-hour winds all day long. Okay, and Larry will attest to this. Driving into a 65-mile-an-hour wind with a pickup and a 21-foot trailer behind you is not fun. Is not fun. So we decided we'd head out in the morning, go do some shooting, and then reevaluate whether or not we were staying that extra night. His camera went in the drink. Well, we said, okay, that makes a decision. So we zipped back to the campground, packed everything up, cleaned up his camera as best we could, and opened everything. Oops, I froze. What happened? I froze. There it is. Back. Oh, now I'm frozen again. Are you guys there? Oh, good. I froze kind of quickly. We might be having wind out here. We've had some crazy kind of stuff. So we packed up really fast and closed everything up and cleaned everything in as best we could. Packed up and decided to come home. And hooked up the trailer, drove home when we were home by about 5 and parked by about 5:15 last night. Let's see. Hang on. And make sure everything else is shut down that I've got going on. Quit that. And okay. So that was a good decision because it was pretty brutal out there. If you go to Klayloch, KALALOCH webcam, you can see there's a live webcam that goes every 30 seconds. Of course, it's dark right now. You can't see anything, but it showed what was going on like today during the day. It was not fun. So we were glad that we had come home a day early. So we did. So that's my story. Anyway, we had a good time, though. It was really delightful. And I'm trying to see Am I still live? Yes. Okay. There we go. Whew. There we go. Looks cold and beautiful. Was. Winter here is best. No snakes. Yeah. I don't really have snakes too much to deal. Eastern Washington, I would have to deal with. Yeah, we did. Yeah, Linda, this is not my first rodeo on. I have been hit by sneaker waves twice and have had camera gear in my hands both times, and I am well known with Canon Pro Services, so it is already packed and on their way to Canon Pro Services.
in California as of today. So, but still, yeah, I've done that, and my box that gunny up and send it back to the kid. No, that's why I pay what I don't pay a lot. I pay $100 a year for Canon Pro Services, but it allows me to borrow any kind of lens I want at any time. Like when I went to Yellowstone in the winter and I was able to borrow a big 600 millimeter lens from Canon. It also I have maintenance service and cleaning services that I can get so many times a year for free. And then it has this kind of rescue service available that so far they haven't said they're charging me anything. When they see how much salt water and sand is in there, that might be another thing. We'll see, but it's well worth it to me. Plus it provides my insurance. Anyway, yeah. Oh, look at that. Is a nice profile pic. Oh, Julia, thanks for pointing that out. Okay, everybody. Now, we are back to story time, and I am going to see if I can get through the rest of the years of St. Nicholas. Oh, hang on. Heater's on in here. The letters to St. Nicholas from Tolkien. We were having such fun with them the other night. And we're back to 1931. So I got to pull them up on my phone here. Okay, you guys unhooked it, and now. So did everybody have a happy holiday? Have a good time, friends with family, fun with family, and that type of thing? I know on New Year's Day, my sisters and I are getting together. Patty, or at least Carolyn and Sarah and I are getting together over here. Carolyn's she's got the recipe for my mom's fish stew, and we're bringing the rock cod. Sarah's bringing the shrimp. Carolyn's got the scallops and the something else that goes in it, and Bob's making a loaf of bread. Jim, my brother-in-law, Jim, is making a loaf of bread. And then, anyway, that's what we're doing on New Year's Day in the evening. Let's see. I need to get to 1931. We're up to 1931. There we go. 1931. You ready for some story time? Let's see. Great time. I'm glad you had a good time. I dropped my phone in a 5-gallon bucket of paint. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think Bob's camera should be pretty fine. We had a pretty awesome gathering and made up for Thanksgiving. Yeah. I think our gathering on New Year's will make up for not having been with them on Thanksgiving and stuff. But I got to look back and remember that I had all my girls and all my grandkids together in October for the grandkids' birthdays. So that was kind of our big family thing. And I'm pleased with that. And Linda drove to her eldest son. Larry, they had an awesome thing. Tamara, I hope you had fun down there. A tide pool, yeah. Tide pools. I think the part that probably is the worst is my 24-105 RF 24-105 lens. It's a kit lens, but it's still an L lens, but there's water inside, and I could see it, and but they're all under warranty, so yay, that's good. That's my saving grace. All right, on to the story. This is his 1931. And he says, "Dear children, already I have got some letters from you. You are getting busy early. I have not begun to think about Christmas yet. It has been very warm in the north here this year, and there has been very little snow so far. We are just getting in our Christmas firewood. This is to say, my messengers will be coming round regularly now winter has begun. We shall be having a bonfire tomorrow, and I shall like to hear from you. Sunday and Wednesday evenings are the best times to post to me. I love that. The polar bear is quite well and fairly good, though you never know what he will do when the Christmas rushes begins. Send my love to John. Your loving Father Nicholas Christmas. And then the polar bear adds, Glad Father Christmas has waked up. He slept nearly all this hot summer. I wish we could have snow. My coat is quite yellow. Love, Polar Bear. And the picture that he did, look at that. Father Christmas packing in 1931. Love you all. You're loving. Oh, I love the pictures. That is so cool. This is December 23rd, 1931. My dear children, I hope you will like the little things I've sent you. You seem to be most interested in railways just now, so I am sending you mostly things of that sort. I send as much love as ever. And I send, in fact, more. We have both, the polar bear and I, enjoyed having so many nice letters from you and your pets. If you think we have not read them, you are wrong. But if you find that not many of the things you asked for have come, and not perhaps quite as many as sometimes, remember that this Christmas all over the world, there are a terrible number of poor and starving people. I, and also my green brother, have had to do some collecting of food and clothes and toys too, for the children whose fathers and mothers and friends cannot give them anything. Sometimes not even dinner. I know yours won't forget you. So, my dears, I hope you will be happy this Christmas, and not quarrel, and will have some good games with your railway all together. Don't forget Old Father Christmas when you light your tree. Nor me, says the polar bear in there. It has gone on being warm up here, as I told you, not that you would call warm, but warm for the North Pole, with very little snow. The North Polar Bear, if you know who I mean, has been lazy and sleepy as a result, and very slow over packing or any job except eating. He has enjoyed sampling and tasting the food parcels this year to see if they were fresh and good, he said. Somebody has to, he says at the bottom of this page, and I found stones in some of the currants. But that is not the worst. I should hardly feel it was Christmas if he didn't do something ridiculous. You will never guess what he did this time. I sent him down into one of the cellars, the cracker hole we call it, where I keep thousands of boxes of crackers. You would like to see them, rows upon rows with all their lids off to show the kinds of colors. Well, I wanted 20 boxes and was busy sorting soldiers and farm things, so I sent him. And he was so lazy, he took 2 snowboys, who aren't allowed down there, to help him. They started pulling crackers out of the boxes, and he tried to box them, the boys' ears, I mean, and they dodged, and he fell over and let his candle fall right poof into my firework crackers and boxes of sparklers. I could hear the noise and smell the smell in the hall, and when I rushed down, I saw nothing but smoke and fizzing stars. An old polar bear was rolling over on the floor with sparks sizzling on his coat. He has quite a bare patch burnt on his back. It looked fine. That's where Father Christmas spilt the gravy on my back at dinner. The snowboys roared away with laughter and then ran away. They said it was a splendid sight. but they won't come to my party on St. Stephen's Day. They have had more than their share already. 2 of the polar bear's nephews have been staying here for some time. Paksu and Valkotuktu, fat and white hair, they say it means. They are fat-tummied polar cubs and are very funny, boxing one another and rolling about. But another time I shall have them on Boxing Day and not just at packing time. I fell over them 14 times a day last week. And Valkotuka swallowed a ball of red string, thinking it was cake, and he got it all wound up inside and had a tangled cough. He couldn't sleep at night, but I thought it rather served him right for putting holly in my bed. It was the same cub that poured all the black ink yesterday into the fire and made to make night. It did, and a very smelly, smoky one. We lost Paksu all last Wednesday and found him on Thursday morning asleep in the cupboard in the kitchen. He had eaten 2 whole puddings raw. They seem to be growing up just like their uncle. Not there! Goodbye now. I shall soon be off on my travels once more. You need not believe any pictures you see of me in airplanes or motors. I cannot drive one and don't want to. And they are too slow anyway, not to mention smell. They cannot compare with my own reindeer, which I train myself. They are all very well this year, and I expect my posts will be very good time. I have got some new young ones this Christmas from Lapland, a great place for wizards. But these are wizards. Bad. This is a bad joke. One day I will send you pictures of my deer stables and harness houses. I'm expecting that John, although he is now over 14, will hang up his stocking this last time, but I don't forget people even when they are past stocking age. Not until they forget me. So I send love to all, and especially little PM, who is beginning her stocking days, and I hope they will be happy. Your loving Father Christmas. P.S. This is drawn, getting to the picture here, come on. This is drawn by the North Polar Bear. Don't you think he is getting better? But the green ink is mine, and he didn't ask for it. Love from Karhu, Paksu, and Valtokuku. I love it. The North Polar Bear, Karhu. Come on. Oops. There we go. That's 2. There. Oops. 1 page too many. What is this? This is the picture of, maybe that's the fireworks going off downstairs where they were working. What's that say? I can't get it any. Rough sketch of the crackers. Ah, yes, that's of when they went down for the crackers. 1932. John, Michael, and Christopher and Priscilla Tolkien. 20 Northmose Road, Oxford, England. Thank you for your nice letters. I have not forgotten you. I am very late this year and very worried. A very funny thing has happened. The polar bear has disappeared, and I don't know where he is. I have not seen him since the beginning of the month, and I am getting anxious. Tomorrow, December, the Christmas month begins, and I don't know what I shall do without him. I am glad you are all well and your many pets. The snow babies' holidays begin tomorrow. I wish Polar Bear was here to look after them. Love to Michael, Christopher, and Priscilla. Please send John my love when you write to him. Father N. Christmas. And then this one. Oh my gosh. This is a really long letter. It starts out with, My dear children, there is a lot to tell. I know. I love the pen work. Isn't it crazy? My friend's mommy. Tamale. Been eating tamales for a past art. Navidad was delicious. Oh, I'm glad. But stregonona to my grands. Oh, that's amazing, Linda. I'm just checking back in these so I can see what everybody's saying. I'm going back because we've got a long. I think this is going to tell about what happened to the North Polar Bear. Because he said, he was missing. My dear children, there is a lot to tell you. First of all, a Merry Christmas, but there have been lots of adventures you will want to hear about. It all began with the funny noises underground, which started in the summer and got worse and worse. I was afraid an earthquake might happen. The North Polar Bear said he suspected that what was wrong from the beginning. I only wish he had said something to me. And anyway, it can't be quite true, as he was fast asleep when it all began. I did not wake up till about Michael's birthday. However, he went off for a walk one day at the end of November, I think, and never came back. I think, and about a fortnight ago, I began to be really worried, for after all, the dear old thing is really a lot of help in spite of accidents, and very amusing. One Friday evening, December 9th, there was a bumping at the front door and a snuffling. I thought he had come back and lost his key, as he often does before. But when I opened the door, there was another very old bear, a very fat and funny-shaped one. Actually, it was the eldest of a few remaining cave bears. Old Mr. Cave Bear himself. I had not seen him for centuries. "Do you want your North Polar Bear?" he said. "If you do, you had better come and get him." It turned out he was lost in the caves belonging to Mr. Cave Bear, or so he says, not far from the ruins of my old house. He says he found a hole in the side of the hill and went inside because it was snowing. He slipped down a long slope, and lots of rocks fell after him, and he found he could not climb up or get out again. But almost at once he smelt goblin and became interested and started to explore. Not very wise, for of course goblins can't hurt him, but their caves are very dangerous. Naturally, he soon got quite lost, and the goblins shut off all their lights and made queer noises and false echoes. Goblins are to us very much what rats are to you, only worse, because they are very clever. And only better because they are, in these parts, very few. We thought there were none left. Long ago, we had great trouble with them, and that was about, 1453, I believe. But we got the help of the gnomes, who are their greatest enemies, and cleared them all out. Anyway, there was poor old Polar Bear lost in the dark all among them, and all alone until he met Mr. Cave Bear, who lives there. Cave Bear can see pretty well in the dark, and he offered to take Polar Bear to his private back door. So they set off together, but the goblins were very excited and angry. Polar Bear had boxed one or two flat, and that came and poked him in the dark and had said some very nasty things to them all. And they enticed him away by imitating Cave Bear's voice, which of course they know very well. So Polar Bear got into a frightful dark part and full of different passages and lost Cave Bear, and Cave Bear lost him. "Light is what we need," said Cave Bear to me, so I got some of my special sparkling torches, which I sometimes use in my deepest cellars, and we set off that night. The caves are wonderful. I think we're on another page, yes. The caves are wonderful. I know they were there, but not how many or how big they were. Of course, the goblins went off into the deepest holes and corners, and we soon found Polar Bear. He was getting quite long and thin with hunger, and he had been in the caves about a fortnight. Anybody know what a fortnight is? I really don't know. Somebody tell me in the comments, please. Tell me. Linda will know. Linda will know what a fortnight is. He was getting quite long and thin. He said, I should have been able to squeeze through a goblin crack. Polar Bear himself was astonished when I brought light, for the most remarkable thing is that the walls of these caves are all covered with pictures cut into the rock or painted on in red and brown and black. Some of them are very good, mostly of animals, and some are queer and some bad. And there are many strange marks, signs, and scribbles, some of which have a nasty look, and I am sure have something to do with black magic. Cave Bear says these caves belong to him, and they have belonged to him or his family since the days of his great multiplied by 10 grandfather. And the bears first had the idea of decorating the walls and used to scratch pictures on them on soft parts. It was useful for sharpening claws. Then men came along. Imagine it. Cave Bear says there were lots about at one time long ago when the North Pole was somewhere else. That was long before my time, and I had never heard old Grandfather Yule mention it even, so I don't know if he is talking nonsense or not. Many of the pictures were done by these cavemen, the best ones, especially the big ones, almost life-size, of animals, some of which have since disappeared. There are dragons and quite a lot of mammoths. Men also put some of these black marks and pictures there, but the goblins have scribbled over them in places. They can't draw well, and anyway, they like nasty queer shapes best. North Polar Bear got quite excited when he saw all these things. He said, "These cave people could draw better than you, Daddy Noel. And wouldn't your young friends just like to see some really good pictures, especially some properly drawn bears for a change?" Rather rude, I thought. If only a joke, as I take a lot of troubles over my Christmas pictures. Some of them take quite a minute to do, and though I only send them to special friends, I have a good many in different places, so just to show him and to please you, I have copied a whole page from the wall of the chief central cave and sent you a copy. It is not perhaps quite as well drawn as the originals, which are very, very, very much larger, except the goblin parts, which are easy. I think I'll find you that picture. Come, let's find that picture so you can look at that while I'm reading the rest of the story. Here. Come on. There. Oh, look at that. The goblin pictures must be very old because the goblin fighters are sitting on dracels, a very queer sort of dwarf dachshund horse creature they used to use, but they have died out long ago. I believe the red gnomes finished them off somewhere about Edward IV's time. The animal drawings are magnificent. The hairy rhinoceros looks wicked. Is there a hairy rhinoceros in there? I don't see it. There's also a nasty look on the mammoth's eyes. Also the ox, stag, bear, and cave bear, portrait of Mr. Cave Bear's 71st ancestor, he says, and some others, kind of polarish, but not quite polar bear. Oh, I see the pictures all around in the center there on the walls. Just under the bears is the best a goblin can do at drawing a reindeer. You have been so good in writing to me, and such beautiful letters too, that I've tried to draw you some specially nice pictures this year. At the top of my Christmas card is a picture, imaginary, but more or less as it really is, of me arriving over Oxford. Your house is just about where the 3 little black points stick up out of the shadows to the right. I'm coming from the north, and note, not with 12 pair of deer, as you see in some books. I usually use 7 pair. 14 is such a nice number. And at Christmas, especially if I'm hurried, I add my 2 special white ones in front. So he has more. St. Nicholas had more reindeer. 7 pair, 14. Next comes a picture of me and Cave Bear and the North Polar Bear exploring the caves. I will tell you more about that in a minute. The last picture hasn't happened yet. It soon will. On St. Stephen's Day, when all the rush is over, I'm going to have a rowdy party. The cave bears' grandchildren, they are exactly like live teddy bears, snow babies, some children of the red gnomes, and of course polar cubs, including Paksu and Baltukuku, will be here. I'm wearing a pair of new green trousers. They are a present from my green brother, but I only wear them at home. Goblins always dislike green, so I found them useful. You see, when I rescued Polar Bear, he hadn't finished the adventures. At the beginning of last week, we went into a cellar's to get up the stuff for England. He said to Polar Bear, "Somebody has been disarranging things here." "Paksu and Baltokutuku, I expect," he said. But it wasn't. Next day, things were much worse, especially among the railway things. Lots of items seemed to be missing. I ought to have guessed, and Polar Bear, anyway, ought to have mentioned his guess to me. Last Saturday, we went down and found nearly everything had disappeared out of the main cellar. Imagine my state of mind. Nothing hardly to send to anybody, and too little time to get or to make enough new stuff. North Polar Bear said, "I smell goblin strong." Of course, it was obvious. They love mechanical toys, though they quickly smash them and want more and more and more. And practically all the Hornby things had gone. Eventually, we found a large hole, but not big enough for us, leading to the tunnel behind some packing cases in the west cellar. As you will expect, we rushed off to find Cave Bear, and we went back to the caves, and we soon understood the queer noises. It was plain the goblins long ago had burrowed a tunnel from the caves to my old home, which was not so far from the end of their hills, and stolen a good many things. We found some things more than 100 years old, even a few parcels still addressed to your great-grandpeople. But they had been very clever and not too greedy, and I had not found out. Ever since I moved, they must have been busy burrowing all the way to my cliff, boring, banging, and blasting as quietly as could. At last they had reached my new cellars, and the sight of the Hornby things was too much for them. They took all they could. I dare say they were also still angry with Polar Bear. Also, they thought we couldn't get at them. But I sent my patient green luminous smoke down the tunnel, and Polar Bear blew and blew it with enormous kitchen bellows. They simply shrieked and rushed out the other cave end. But there were red gnomes there. I had specially sent for them. A few of the real old families are still in Norway. They captured hundreds of goblins and chased many more out into the snow, which they hate. We made them show us where they had hidden things or bring them back all again, and by Monday we had got practically everything back. The gnomes are still dealing with the goblins and promise there won't be one left by New Year, but I am not so sure. They will crop up again in a century or so, I expect. We have had a rush, but dear old Cave Bear and his sons and the gnome ladies helped, so that we are all now very well forward and all packed. I hope there is not the faintest smell of goblin about any of your things. They have been well aired. There is still a few railway items missing, but I hope you will have what you want. I am not able to carry quite as much toy cargo as usual this year, as I am taking a good deal of food and clothes, usual stuff. There are far too many people in your land and others who are hungry and cold this winter. I am glad that with you the weather is warmish. It is not warm here. We have had tremendous icy winds and terrific snowstorms, and my old house is quite buried. But I am feeling very well, better than ever, and though my hand wobbles with a pen, partly because I don't like writing as much as drawing, which I learned first, I don't think it is wobbly this year. The Polar Bear got your father's scribble today and was very puzzled by it. I told him that it looked like old lecture notes, and he laughed. He says he thinks Oxford is quite a mad place if people lecture about stuff, but I don't suppose anybody listens to it. He's talking about himself. Because Tolkien was a professor at Oxford, which is just, he's laughing about himself, which I love that. The drawings pleased him better. He said, "At any rate, those boys' father tried to draw bears, though they aren't good. Of course, it's all nonsense, but I will answer it. So he made up an alphabet from the marks in the caves. And he says it's much nicer than the ordinary letters or than runes or polar letters and suits his paw better. Well, the polar bear made a alphabet. He writes them with his tail of his pen holder and has sent a short letter to you in this alphabet to wish you a very Merry Christmas and lots of fun in the new year and good luck at school. As you are all so clever now, he says that with Latin and French and Greek you will easily read it and see that Polar Bear sends you much love. I am not so sure. Anyway, I dare to say he would send you a copy of his alphabet if you wrote and asked. By the way, he writes it in columns from top to bottom, not across. Don't tell him I gave away that secret. This is one of my longest letters. It has been an exciting time. I hope you will like hearing about it. I send you all my love. John, Michael, Christopher, and Priscilla. Also Mummy and Daddy and Auntie and all the people in your house. I dare say John will feel he has not got to give up. He has got to give up stockings now and give way to the many new children that have arrived since he first began to hang his up. But Father Christmas will not forget him. Bless you all. Your loving Nicholas Christmas. Oh, there they are. There are some more of the drawings, the cave drawings. Look at these. Chocolate is not. Oh, you're talking about mole. That was one of the things Oaxaca is known for. There was one restaurant I went to had 14 different moles on the recipe, on the menu. And moles can be known to have up to like 40 some odd ingredients, some of them. Everyone's different. Anyway. And here is the alphabet that he made up, or the alphabet of it. Oh, so this book goes on quite a bit longer, and I think there's one more. I'm going to read one more tonight, and I decided I'm going to come back on tomorrow night, and I'm going to read again tomorrow night. This is Wednesday. Thursday, we had a holiday party we were going to go to at Arts tomorrow night as photographers' parties, but he decided to postpone it because so many people who were coming had the flu or were ill, so he decided to wait till February. So I thought I'll come and read it tomorrow night. So I'm going to come back and read some more of this tomorrow night. I'm going to read one or two more tonight, and then, so that. Then there's New Year's Eve. I think Doris has got a New Year's Eve party going on at Doris at DF Designs. I think that ought to be foreign. So, but dear people, very cold here at last. Business has really begun and we are working hard. I have had a good many letters from everyone. Thank you. And I have made notes of what you want so far, but I expect I shall hear more from you yet. I am rather short of messengers. The goblins have, let's see, what's it say? The goblins have, but I haven't had time to tell you about our excitement now. I hope I shall find some time to send you a letter later. Give John my love. When you see him, I send love to all of you and a kiss for Priscilla. Tell her my beard is quite nice and soft, as I never shaved. 3 weeks to Christmas Eve, your father Nays. And there he says, cheers, cheer up, chaps. Also, chaplet, if that's the feminine. The fun's beginning. Yours, Polar Bear. That's this polar bear. That's his handwriting right there in that one. So cute. And this next one. I think I'm going to start there tomorrow night. Yes. Tomorrow night I'll start there. I'm going to check back with Julia, if anybody has any art to send in, so I want to do that. Because the other thing I want to do tomorrow night, you guys, if you'll bear with me, is I want to go through this stack of art that I've done during the readings that I did in the past year and stuff, and some of the things that were inspired by the stories and just some of the sketchbooks and how that kind of a thing like that. I just think it would be really fun to do that. And I would love it if you could send in anything that you have. What do you think? So send in anything. I'm going to pull up my stuff tomorrow and kind of just go one, kind of like, like sometimes like sketchbook things, but here, mainly what we've done here and some of the things that I got inspired by. And yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'll be back on tomorrow night. Quite honestly, it is really hard not to go on every night. And I know I need to not, I know you guys, I need to kind of make it balance out with some other things, because I did get finally got some photos edited. I did. I got one or two edited that turned out pretty good from just this, but I still have a whole bunch more that I got to figure out on what to do. And nowhere near. I was working on them. Okay, this one, I'll show you this one. Let's see if this one will show. Preview mode, go to here. Let's see. There it is. Where am I? Screen share. There. Yay. And Lightroom Classic, that's what I want to show. Okay, this is what I want to do. So this is one of the photos. I'm going to get it up here so it's big enough for you guys to see it. And put it in full screen. Oops, nope, not in full screen, because then I can't. Oh, maybe it does. Oh, good, it does work. All right. Let me get rid of, back to this. Okay. We're going to go up here. I'm going to show you a couple things I did from this. Let me see if I can get rid of that overlay so you can actually see the picture. And where are my overlays? Christmas border, just there. Okay. And let's see. Uh-oh, wrong one. What happened? Oh, there we go. I was trying to do there. Okay. That's one of the color ones. So I think it's a little blue. But that was, so if you see that, there's that log right there, and that's with the big gnarl in front, and there's the sand just to the right of it. There's a little bit of water in between. Right in between that log and the sand is where Bob's camera went in. This is a freshwater river that's coming into the ocean, but the sandbar that's to the left, the waves are actually, they were pretty much on the other side. The tide was coming in, but we had a wave that hit that sandbar and came up over the top of it and washed into the river. So we got a fair amount of craziness there. And then there was one other. What's this one? Was it this one? This I did with my infrared camera. and I was playing because in an infrared camera in monotone and black and white, anything that is green turns really white. And that was a lot of fun. Here's another. This is a black and white near that scene that I did. And I had done a shot of that. So this is the same kind of, this is at Beach 3. And we had just storm coming in. It was gorgeous. And then this one, this is just on the down. This was just this cool, really bright green leaf, but in infrared, it turns white. It's very fun to do. I think those were the only, I didn't get a lot of photos done because, when everything kind of collapses and the camera goes in. Yep. So I've got some editing to do, a lot of editing. You see all this? This is just all these down here. And you see the ones that are in red? That's because they still show up in infrared when I process them in before I flip them to black and white. This is a spruce burl tree and there's water spots all over my lens. All right. Okay. So that's that. Go to the next. Where am I here? Come on. Next scene. There we go. Go back to me. So I think I'm going to, because I want to spend some more time with editing my photos and reading every night. I don't give myself time to do that. I really love the reading, but I also really love to do this. So I'm balancing it out. And so I'm going to read again tomorrow night. I won't be on Sunday night because that's New Year's Day and my sister is having us together. And then I'll have kind of, once the new year starts, have a real set thing. Maybe I'll do 2 or 3 nights in a row in the middle of the week or something like that. I don't know. I'm still deciding. I'm so indecisive. Anyway, thanks for being here. Bob's making dinner upstairs. He's making, it's my favorite thing in these letters, although the drawings are quite exciting. Yeah. The pictographs are very cool. Oh, you gave the book that I would wear shirts with that alphabet on them. You would? Yeah, isn't it cool? Oh, that would be a cool thing to do. I wonder if they have them. You'd have to look it up on Tolkien. I wonder if they've done that kind of a merch, if his family has. I hope that they like that book, Linda. That's cool that you gave them that book. I love the key. Let's go. And so anyway, I will be back again, like I said, tomorrow night. We'll either continue maybe a few more on this story. There's a few more letters, and then another book, and share some pictures. If you guys have them, share some of the art, send in your things, just have a little bit of a fun time. Yeah. So until next time, everybody, I'm going to close it down for tonight. I'm going to go Bob made French dips. And until then, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight, everybody. It's all around. But you know the first place you'll find it is if you go look in the mirror. And I'll catch you next time. Bye. Oops. Yeah, that's the wrong one. It wasn't supposed to be this one. There, this one.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous.
Yeah, Loopy, send in your stuff. I would love to put it up tomorrow.
You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual.
Thanks, Larry.
You don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard. They're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards. I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool.
Thanks, Tamara.
Love that leaves us weightless. Ooh,
Yeah, infrared is just really catching me. Claylock.
you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous.
Yeah, the infrared is a lot, kind of a softer image. Yay, Julia's here.
We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh,
Yay, Gail. Thank you. Get well.
gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous.
Loopy, I'm so glad you were here.
Could be famous. We could be famous.
Yeah, that's me, the late night jazz DJ. I can hear myself.